a learning curve, just in case, because a few of you have brought up some of the things you know you did wrong and the reason why you have some of the soaps we are having today. But I think that it was an amazing attempt. For us not knowing how to do complex soap, not even knowing how to formulate it, and then just sticking our head deep down into it, and this is what we got. I think it's amazing. Those ones that are soft, the only thing I can say is for now, I'll just say is the temperature in the room. That was what brought about the softness of that. And I'm dead sure because Teresa had the softest pour, like it was very liquid, but look at how hard the soap is. And she was, yeah, that's yours. And she was telling me she had used hard oils, just two main hard oils, coconut and shea butter. Yeah. So this is really, really hard. And that's an example of just using hard oils. It adds onto the hardness. And then you can tell you used
carrot.
No, the oils.
Almond, coconut, olive oil, and then shea butter.
So shea butter was your only hard oil there.
Yeah.
So she's got some hardness, and I may say that if she leaves it quite longer, it may get more harder. It's just because it's being in the room, and obviously the temperature of the room is adding to the softness. Else it would have also been a lot harder. And the milk soap has what oils in there?
We use olive oil, coconut, and shea butter.
So you have two hard oils, one soft oil.
Yeah.
That should have also been a hard bar as well. But I assume because it was left in this room, if it was taken home, it would have come up really hard. So once you take it home, just keep an eye on it and let's see how hard it turns out to be. But on the whole, I think we all produce very beautiful bars. What is lacking more is the fragrance, which I'm not smelling too well in most of the soaps. So two things that I've come up with is to add a little bit of kaolin clay, that helps retain the fragrance of your soap, and also for us to get the right measurement of our fragrance in comparison to our batch. We have to get the ratios right. So let's say if we are doing like 100K of soap, we have to know the right fragrance ratio to go with that. And then make sure that we have authentic essential oils in there, because some of the essential oils that are being sold as essential oils aren't authentic enough. And I've got a few here that I can show to you that I got from Temu that has been advertised as 100% essential oil, but came back and there is no fragrance at all. So if you're using those kind of oils, then that's sure you're not going to smell anything at the end. So those are the three key things I can say about your scent retention and making sure that you have, like, you can smell this fragrance through and through. I can smell it in this one. In Joanne's own, the strawberry is very strong in there. This one, you can also smell something, but you can't really tell what it is. So there's fragrance in here as well. But for yours, I can't smell anything, even though it's a perfect soap for me. If you tell me the hardness and everything else is there, the only thing that is lacking is the fragrance. So if anybody is buying soap, they are looking for hardness, and the shape is beautiful. You can tell, like, I'll pick this off the shelf anytime when I see it. It has a beautiful shape and all. But the fragrance is another thing that is lacking. If that was there, it'll be easier for people to pick it off the shelf, even before they try it and know it can solve this problem or it can solve that problem. I think before then, before some of you joined, we were talking about the Yoni soap, and they had priced, some people are pricing it at £12. They had said, and others at $6.99. So if I'm buying a Yoni soap, I've not tried it yet, so I don't know if it's going to actually solve the problem that it says it's going to solve. So I'll only pick it off the shelf, looking at a few things: hardness, fragrance, and appearance. And that is what all soaps should have. Even before the person takes it home, try it. And after a week or two, we'll begin to see some signs of improvement and say, that particular brand, I'll always go for it. So then the person becomes your returning customer. So we are looking at appearance. We are looking at smell, fragrance, and then the hardness basically. And that is what the soap making calculator will help us generate. So the soap making calculator tells you the kind of soap you're going to produce in the end, even before you do your soap. And we'll get into it. I don't know if I'm making sense. So once you put all your figures into the soap making calculator, it tells you that this soap will be hard, this soap will lather, this soap will be soft. It has this amount of iodine in there. And like we know, iodine makes your soap softer and greasy. So some of these things, the soap making calculator gives you like a foresight of the soap you're going to produce, in the product you're going to produce in the end, even before you start putting your ingredients together. And that is why it's good to do the soap making calculator. Before the soap making calculator came about, people were putting the recipes together and figuring out what quantities of essential oil do I have to use, what quantity of olive oil, what quantity of that and that and that do I have to use. But from the beginning of this class till now, we've talked about all the hard oils, we've talked about all the soft oils, we've talked about sodium hydroxide, and we know all the various properties in there. And this morning we can tell that hard oils together produce hard bars, soft oils together produce soft bars, and this and that and that. But some oils, when they come together, can still give you a soft bar. And sometimes those things you can't tell, but the soap making calculator can help you figure that one out. So if we have the soap making app on our phones, let's open it up, and then at the top,
So, did you download it? Yeah. Yep.
I'm 66 in September.
are you?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not doing that and friendly. My friends don't connect with the internet. I'm out.
Okay, so you just sit through the class and listen, or
Yeah, yeah.
okay, okay.
Well, no,
You can share. So at the top bar, it says new recipe. That's where you're going to give your recipe a name. You can come back to that if you've not decided yet and build on your recipe, but definitely give it a name if you're saving it, because as you build on different recipes, you're going to have that recipe on the app and you want to be able to easily find it or refer to it. Now, when you go into recipes, you know, like, okay, now at the bottom, the third bottom bit of the app, you see builder, recipes, batch account. I want to show you something there at the recipe. So click on the recipe and you see that mine here says 2 hours ago, somebody, the author is called Stella. She's sent a recipe. So your recipe will stay on the app.
Yeah.
Everybody's recipe stays on the app. This is a free one. This is a free one. Yeah. If you go for the paid one, you get an exclusive recipe for you. You get a lot of features on the app that would help you save your recipes exclusively. So if you were saying doing a soap that is going to solve a problem and you're hoping to make money from that soap and you don't want anybody to see your recipe, don't do it on this app because it's going to stay there. If you're going to do it, then make sure you've gone for the paid version so nobody sees your recipe, because as people are building, it's staying there, it's staying here in the app.
Well, even if you just look at this here, I mean, this is if you want to save it. Can't you just put one in and not save it?
Say don't make public. I have to find out if the
Just run it through and then like
just run it through and scrap it. We'll have to find out.
it down.
You write it down quickly and then
Pen and paper, like normal people.
I don't know if it doesn't stay on the memory of the app. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, yeah.
Because there is like a recipe is public on the top.
Mhm.
There's a question. Recipe is public. Then you can say yes or no, right?
Show me again. Show that again. Recipe is what?
Oh, it's public.
Public, yeah. So then you change it to no.
No.
No. So then your recipe would not be public. Public, yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. Now, so let's go back to the builder. And then new recipe, let's put up, you can either put today's date or put the name of the soap you think you're going to be doing, or put your name there, Sheila 1 or something. At least then you have it as your first recipe. Later on, you can always change the name to remember. All right. They've already gone. When you go next, there is the recipe date, which will be today. And like she pointed out, there's a recipe, it's public. So you click yes or no if you don't want it to be public to everyone. Then the next one talks about liquid or solid bar soaps. We are doing solid bar soap. So there we are going to select sodium hydroxide, because you can see that there's potassium hydroxide, and that is the one that does liquid soap. Then they've got the hybrid where you're using potassium hydroxide and sodium hydroxide. We are not doing that. So we'll select just the sodium hydroxide as a solid bar soap. So you select that one. Then we go further down. You should get to select recipe units of measurement. You either decide to work in percentages, grams, kilograms, pounds, or ounces. I think in this class we work in grams.
Yeah.
So we'll select the grams. Then when we go next, it talks about the amount of liquid in recipe. We are going to leave it at 2:1 ratio, which is your liquid is to lye ratio. It's talking about the liquid in your soap. So we are talking about the lye solution. So we either leave it as a ratio or as a percentage lye concentrate or as a liquid as percent of oils. But it's easier to work with the ratio for us. So we'll stick to the 2:1 ratio. So select that one. Then we go to the fourth bar, which talks about superfat. Now,
This one is allow us to change the ratio, right? Right now it's 2:1.
don't change it. Leave it like that.
Leave it like that.
Yeah, some of the amounts, they just leave it like that. Yeah, leave it at the 2:1 ratio. This is the standard. If you decide to go any different, then you are very advanced, because it's definitely going to give you a different property soap. So leave it at this setting. So you are either picking it in percentages or in ratio. Then the fourth bar is talking about the superfat, and here also leave it at 5%. Now I'll talk about superfat before we carry on. Superfat is the amount of oil in your soap that is not saponified.
Not
Superfat that is not turned into soap. It's 5%. Okay. So let's say I have my olive oil and all the oils and my lye. When I put the two together, superfat is that bit of the oil in the soap that did not turn into soap. So that is the one that makes your skin, it has the moisture effect on your skin. You remember I was talking about TK Maxx soap, that when you use it, you can feel the suppleness of your skin, and that is the superfat in there. So the range for superfat is usually between 3 and 8. The higher it is, the more softer your soap becomes. So if your superfat is 8, it means that there's too much oil in there, and it makes your soap soft and greasy. If your superfat is around 3, there's less oil in there, and then it makes your soap harsh and very dry. So
Say that again.
the superfat range is between 3 and 8. The standard is 5. So I'll say always stay at 5. If you want to explore further and you decide to go above 5, anything above 5 is making your soap greasy. Does that make sense? Because it means that you're putting more oil in there. Anything below 5, it means you're putting less oil in there. It's making your soap dry and harsh on your skin. That is what it means. So basically, stay on 5%. And it's the app has already picked up 5, so we leave it at 5.
You wanna go look for mommy? Go get mommy.
Better lock that. I better lock this cupboard
gone.
before that.
Off now.
So that is it for the superfat, and it's already selected it for us. So that's it.
Just one quick question. For the wedding, like in winter in UK, that's very, very dry. Should we produce some?
Leave it. Leave it. You can increase your superfat to maybe 6%. I'll say leave it at 5. 6%, it just tells you that you're getting more greasy soap, more soft greasy soap. Basically, that's what it's doing. So if you want a more soft greasy soap, increase it. but 5 is enough because obviously you're having a bath.
Yeah.
You're going to put on your moisturizers and all those things. It's not just your soap that is going to
Yeah.
moisture yours. So you use your other things. So still leave it at 5.
I've got some soap I'm using at the moment. It's olive oil.
Hmm.
So, and it's really, after I've used it, the sink is all greasy. It's
Yes.
really soft and
Hmm.
Yeah.
sloppy. It doesn't.
Lather.
Yeah, it's a
It's not
question,
very
right?
good.
Yeah. It won't lather, so you will not see it. Yeah. It cleanses. Like I always say, it will cleanse, but you may not get all the other properties you're looking at for a proper I'll say for a soap, proper in quote.
Yeah.
Because we all think that when a soap lathers, that is when it's a proper soap, but that's wrong. The soap may not lather, but it will cleanse.
Yeah.
Like she's talking about the olive oil soap. Olive oil soap is one of the perfect soap you get. It's very expensive soap, and it's expensive because it takes longer to produce olive oil soap. Olive oil is a soft oil, and it's very good for delicate skin and for babies. So it takes very long to produce
Like
that
the
soap.
like the pear soap.
And you know the properties of olive oil. So you can't tell me that soap is not good soap. It's perfect soap, but it is not lathering. And the fact that it's not lathering doesn't mean it's not a good soap. But everybody, except anybody who's been in a soap making class and is learning about this, will think that it doesn't lather, it's not good soap. Oh, I used it, didn't lather at all. It's not good. It's made my bath greasy. Oh, I'm not buying it again.
I wash my hands. But I have to be sleepy.
Which is just like no.
Does it show percentage on the packet? No, it didn't. It didn't really have much information on the packet at all, actually. I don't know if it was handmade soap or where it.
So basically that is it for, then let's go to oils, fats, and waxes. So this is where we are selecting our hard oils, soft oils, and waxes as well. It's measuring in grams, so we leave it like that. Now let's click on select oils. This is where you're going to decide the number of oils you are using. Like your recipe, the lady used about 7 to 8 oils for this for the yoni soap. So good morning.
Oh, wow, it's a big class today.
Yeah.
I think they had a
Yeah, I'll go.
okay.
Um,
So this
Oh, this.
Yeah, we share the soup to see what happened of it. And it's been by
yeah. We have to go back, do a recap.
No, just continue. Since you're doing the video, I'll listen.
You listen. Okay, good. So this is where we are picking up our oils. You can see a tall list of oils here. So you decide what oils you're going for. We've got Abyssinia oils. We've got the almond butters. We've got so you can see people are adding more because I can see that added by guest, added by
Yeah,
guest,
yeah,
added
I've
by
seen
guest. So people, you like if you're using some oil today and you use it and you've made your recipe public, it's going to add that oil to it for people. So people are using different oils. And then we've got a lot of oils in here. Okay, so you pick your oils and then it will select the oils. Let's say I'll allow everybody at this point to select 3 oils. Okay, let's stick to 3 oils. Select 3 oils and then let's see what soap property you produce in the end. So I'm not going to tell you select coconut oil, select this, select that. I'll leave you to select the oils yourself. Go through it. You know what butters and oils are. So pick some butters and some oils and then I see tallow beef, tallow deer, tallow bear, tallow goat. people are really exploring. Walnut oil, watermelon seed oil, wheat. Yeah, lots of oils people are using there. Pick soybean
Yes, on the coconut.
There's broccoli seed oil.
What's this degree thing? It's
Salmon
coconut
oil.
How many oils are you allowed to
actually
pick?
It's up to you.
Okay.
Yeah. You can mix it oils and butters, just butters or just oils. I
Is
wa-
that virgin coconut oil?
It should be there.
Is that what you add?
Yeah, that's what we have here.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got degrees and stuff next to it.
What are your what I think this is the pomace. Is it a pomace we have? Virgin pomace?
Where can you get cranberry seed oil?
Hmm.
That's how you get that one?
How do you get it on?
Where did you get that one? Cranberry seed oil.
Maybe it's sold online, probably.
Okay.
Raspberry seed oil. I'm just rabbit fat.
Coconut milk powder.
Yeah, you can. You can get that one.
Can you use coconut milk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tin ones, yeah.
But sometimes it's better to use the
Organic
the
one.
organic one.
Okay. So have we selected our oils?
I've selected oils, but where do I select like the butters?
They're all in there.
There's no butters.
I'm not seeing no butters on mine.
Well, there's.
I'm seeing more oils than the butters.
I've got almond butter. I've
Where-
selected
yeah.
almond butter. And there's aloe butter.
I'm seeing more oils than butter.
Avocado butter.
Yeah, my
You sure?
There's only
Keep-
limited.
There used to be
yeah. It's,
more
okay, it's
before.
going.
It's still there. I think scroll down. Scroll
Okay.
down. Scroll.
Oh,
There's
they're coming up now.
there's
Yeah.
a lot.
Grapeseed. Goose fat.
Cocoa butter.
Mm, there's a lot. So I'll wait for everybody to get their oils in. Then we take it from there. Paula, do you have the app?
Yes, I'm just.
You are just doing it.
Ghee. I didn't know you could put ghee.
Yeah, ghee, yeah.
Oh,
Ghee
At
is
this point-
vegetable.
at this point, I take
vegetable.
any oil,
It's
innit?
vegetable.
yes,
To me, at this point, look like you could use any oil that there is on God's land.
Yeah. Because every oil has some form of property.
Yeah.
So it's more of doing your research and knowing what property this oil has, and then you put it in the soap, basically.
Is there any rules that this type of oil cannot mix with that kind of oil?
I'm sure there may be, but I'd rather say explore with them in smaller quantities and know how, because the oils are a lot. The oils I'm seeing today, they weren't on the app in the previous class. Is that true?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of. I'm seeing some today I've never known they existed. So you have to explore with some of the oils and know how this reacts with that in your soap, and that will be your learning curve. And then you, like I said, document it and know, oh, the last time I did this and that. Now, in this class, we know, is it vanilla essential oil that
I think there's one somewhere in there.
it's accelerate trace.
Oh, yes.
I think it's vanilla. It's vanilla essential oil that accelerates trace.
I find most essential oils accelerate.
It's accelerate trace.
Right at the end. Otherwise, it will
Yeah.
get thick.
Yeah. So we just know that particular one, we put it on the side for bath salts and other things, and not a cold processed soap. Because what we try to do more is to make sure that when we are producing our soaps, that on the first, second, third, or any other time you're producing a cold processed soap, that at least people get good batches to take home. Else people get very disappointed when the soap turns. You can tell that when you come in and your soap is looking somehow. I see everybody's face and days when the soap is good, you can see the excitement. So when we identify some of the things that brings our soap down or make it look funny, we note it, and then we know in this class, this kind of, and it's just the same with you as well as you're going on this journey, just so that you don't waste materials. Because you can imagine, she used very good ingredients in that soap.
It's got honey in it as well.
It's got honey in it. She's not able to sell it because some bit of it got broken, or which is no fault of hers. You get
Because
it.
it stayed in it.
It stayed in it too long. but that was the only thing. But let's say that it was as a result of the recipe we didn't get right. That is why we have to experiment in smaller batches and also note down and no, I'm not doing this again when I'm using this.
Some set and some didn't.
Because
She-
it's soft.
She left it
Taking it
in
out.
the mold for a whole week.
Oh.
It should have come out 24 hours, after 24 hours, and then you let it dry out. And this room is very, very warm. That was why I suggested that we take them home if we can. But it's difficult to transport it, obviously, when it's in the liquid state like it was last week. So if we selected our oils, I selected soybean oil, raspberry seed oil, and mango seed butter. So at this point, your total oil should be 100%. I'm going to leave you to decide how many grams I'm putting in, like in my case, how many grams I'm putting in for soybean, how many I'm putting for raspberry seed, and how many I'm putting in for mango seed butter. I'll leave you to do that. But at the back of your mind, you have information that oils give softer soap, butters make harder soap. So then you are going to increase your butter quantities. You get what I mean? But you can always tweak it around based on the result the soap gives us in the end. You can come back and amend it. But for starters, I'll decide maybe I'll give mango butter 50 grams. I'll give Repseed 20, this 25 or 30, that kind of thing. But at least you know that for you want a harder bar, then more on the butters, less on the oils. That makes sense? Yeah. So let's try it and see what property we get.
How do you select the amount?
Yeah, just
Oh,
click on the, and then just put in the figures.
So we don't go by percentage, 5%.
No, we are going by the grams. No, which one are you talking about? Did you say something, Lida?
No, I was saying you said 5% is a good average for moisturising soap. So you can't calculate 5% each of these.
No, just put, let's say, let me do my hair and let's see what I come up with. And then it will tell me, okay, so for me, my soybean oil, I put in 25 grams. Remember, all of this will give us like 100 grams soap, which is about that. I think 100 grams is like that. So, yeah, if we want bigger, we are multiplying by 4. That will give us 4 bars of that. If we want 6, 6. If we want 10, we'll multiply whatever we get by 10. So let's say for me, I've just keyed in 25 for soybean oils, 25 grams for raspberry seed oil, and 50 grams for the butter. I can still change it and make my butter 60 grams or 70 grams. And then split my 15 grams between my soft oils. So that will give me a harder bar at the back of my mind. But the recipe will tell us the property we'll get in that soap later. But then you see that that is 25% for soybean, raspberry is 25%, mango is 50%. All together gives me 100%. Are we on the same page? Are we on the same page? I should say it again. Okay, so I had 2 oils, 1 butter. I had soybean oil and I'd given that 25 grams. I gave my raspberry seed oil 25 grams and I gave my mango seed butter 50 grams. At the back of my mind, I know that the butters give hardness, the oils give softness. So I gave my butter more grams than my oils. And even as you look at it now, we have equal grams for oils and butters. So it looks like my butter is 50% of my soap recipe. My oil is 50% of my soap recipe. So I would have like maybe this kind of soap. I'll not have this kind of hardness. So if I want this, I may have to go higher on my butter and say my butter will be 60 grams. And then my oils will be 20-20. So in total, my oil is 40 grams. My butter is 60 grams. So I'll go back in and I'll switch it over and make my butter 60 grams and make my oils 20-20. Does that make sense? For extra hardness, I can decide to go 70 on my butter and 15 on my oils. Does that make sense? In saying you picked like, and that is yeah, that's beautiful. She picked like 7 oils, 8 oils. This is an expensive soap. The kind of oil she's putting there, that is good, but that means that is an expensive soap. So she's going to use a lot of expensive oils in there. She can't sell this soap for less, but it's going to be a very good soap in the end. So she's gone like 5% on castor oil, 5% on this, 5% on this, 5% on this, 5% on this, 30% on her butter. So you can go for as many oils as you like. But remember that 2 things in mind. As a beginner, don't go for too many oils. It makes it complex. 2, it's too expensive, especially when you're selling. If you're doing it for yourself, do it. But if you're selling it and you're starting as a beginner and you don't have that kind of client who would easily buy a 12-pound bar soap from you or a 15-bar pub, don't do it.
Yeah.
Just use cheaper oils, get the properties there. When I'm saying cheaper oils, I'm not talking about like using low-grade oil. Like you use your coconut oil. It's not cheap, but it's still a cheap oil because I'm not adding a lot of expensive oils in there. So I can still use my shea butter, cocoa butter, olive oils. All of those are expensive oils, but it will not be as expensive as using about 7 expensive oils in there. I've just used 3 expensive oils here. I'm looking at making basically, so that's how to work it out. So the main thing is to know the properties of the oils we have and how to bring them together, thinking about profit, also thinking about providing value for your customer side, that I'm buying a good bar soap. It's hard, it smells good, it looks good, it's not that expensive. So we've gotten our oil selected. Let's go. Number 6 talks about custom additives. So we are going to select our additives here. Charcoal, activated charcoal, added by Guest. If you want it, this is where you are adding aloe powder, apricot kernel seed, aquamarine blue pigment, baking soda, beeswax. Beeswax adds hardness. So let's say if you pick all oils, like she had olive oil, is a soft soap. She can decide to add some beeswax in there to make the olive oil soap hard. So you can decide to go for all oils, but introduce beeswax to give it hardness. Buttermilk powder, citric acid, clay, charcoal, cocoa powder, coconut milk powder, coffee grounds, cornmeal, cranberry seeds, dried calendula, dried lavender, dried rosebud, glycerine, goat milk powder, goat milk powder again. I don't know why they listed it twice, but it was added by different guests again. Green clay, yes. And please remind me, I've got a lot of clay that I have to bring into the class to experiment with. We've not experimented with clay before. And like I was saying,
how many additives are you allowed to add?
As many as you like, but remember, the more complex. So, so keep it simple.
Yeah,
I'll say keep it simple. But I'll just go through with you just so that you know. But for the clays, when you're producing an organic soap and you do not want to use all your pigments and your micas, clay is another thing you can use. There's the French pink clay. There are different types of clay that gives it added properties, and it will also give you color. So when we're looking at doing organic soap, those are some of the things you can use as your you can use it for coloring your soap, and then it's also going to add added properties to it. So I'll allow you to explore here and pick 1 or 2. Orange peel powder, there's a lot here. Poppy seed, raspberry seed, pink rose clay, salt, silk fibers,
So
titanium dioxide.
orange peel, you have to grind it.
You have to grind it. Grind it. I'll say grind it, air dry it.
So if you want it for decoration, to show the orange peel, it won't show if it's ground.
You can, so it's either you're grinding it or you're peeling it and slicing it to be in there. But remember, it's going to be very rough. So if it's not a soap scrap, then you're going to still have it in there. But whatever it is, make sure you're using it air dried,
Yeah, but for decorating, like we put the
like on top of it,
I
like
don't know what we put there.
Mm.
But,
That's strawberry.
yeah. So for decorating, you'd leave it whole,
yeah,
like the peel
peel. You can leave it
for decorating.
whole, like yeah, like the peel, yeah. But air dried first, not wet.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
But if for decorating, we don't need to add in the eggs, right? In this column.
No,
No.
no, because you're just sticking it
Yes,
on.
just
Unless you're mixing it as
mix
part of the whole
Yeah,
batch.
then-
Yeah, then
then
you're
you
putting
add-
it. Yeah,
Because it says ground rosemary here
Yeah,
as well. So
yeah.
you have to grind it if you want to put it inside.
inside. Yeah,
That gives a smell as well.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it does. So I've just gone for titanium dioxide. Yeah.
On that, custom additives, you can choose how you measure it. It's come up as tablespoons, millilitres, teaspoons, grams.
Custom liquid, custom additives. I'm not seeing custom. I've only oh yeah. So we are measuring everything in grams, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we leave it there at grams. What it will do for you?
Why is it giving you the options though? Because when I put my seaweed in, the seaweed powder, it was about a tablespoonful.
Mm,
But I'm thinking I should have weighed it in
Yeah.
grams.
yeah. You know that tablespoons, you can convert tablespoons to grams
Yeah.
to make it easier for all your weighing, or you can still stick to tablespoon. I think we've done it a number of times, and we found out what a tablespoon is in grams. I think we've done it for me. I've forgotten if anybody remembers, but you can convert all of those into grams so that all your measurements are in grams and you don't get confused. So for me, for my custom additives, I selected titanium dioxide. I will just put about 5 grams in here and see. And are you adding a trace or what? So when you click on that, you see by it, there's another bar by it that says add a trace. Click, select it. It's going to give you a drop down. Add a trace, add with the fats, add with the liquid, add after cook. After cook is when you are doing hard soap. But we are not considering that. So you're going to only consider those 3 options. Add a trace, add with the fats, or add with the liquid. So you pick the at what point you are adding your titanium dioxide. Does that make sense? Or whatever you are adding. I picked titanium dioxide. Let's say you are going for ground orange peels. At what point of your soap making journey are you adding it? Are you adding it when you've turned both oils and lye into soap, a trace? Is that the bit you're going to add it? Or you want to add it in your oils? I will go with add with the fats. So I will add, if I'm adding anything, I will add it when it's in the oil state. I've warmed it and everything.
What's
In
that
that-
like? What, the fragrance?
No, the additives.
Okay.
Whatever additives you picked.
Mm.
If it's oatmeal, if it's orange peels, if it's
Okay.
titanium dioxide, if it's clay, pink clay, whatever you picked. At what point are you adding it? You have to input it here. So with that done, we move on to 7, custom liquids. Now this is where you're going to decide what your carrier for your lye is going to be. When I say your carrier, as beginners, I'll say stick with water, distilled water. The water is our carrier for our lye. But as we advance, like what we did last week, where people came with goat's milk, cow milk, carrot, and a lot of things. This is where
What
we are
is
going.
RO water? 'Cause I see another one say water from the Gulf of Mexico.
Maybe. So maybe it's probably like a branded bottled water.
Yeah.
Yeah, people use. So they've just put it. So I can see coconut milk, I see coffee, I see goat's milk, I see milk itself, Ozello water from the Gulf of Mexico,
Yeah.
RO water, and there's beer as well.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you put it in there. You can pick 2 different types or just one, or I'll just go for
I just press RO water. This water.
coconut milk. And let's go back and see. So add with the liquid. When you click on this, there's another bar on the side. Add a trace, add with the fats, add with the liquid. We leave it out, add
Add with
after
the
cook. Add with the fat, add with the liquid. I'll go with add with the liquid. Because if I'm picking liquids, then I better add it with, what happened? Add with the liquid, yeah.
Can you freeze, make ice cubes of milk and things like that?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that what you do?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm putting like 50 grams of that in for my coconut milk.
Oh. So what's mean by liquid discount?
Liquid discount is when it discounts your liquid. So it takes, now wait, liquid discount, it means that that is what you pick here is going to be the only liquid you're using.
Oh.
If I select no, I'm using something else in addition to this one.
Ah.
Does that make sense? So then it means that whatever I've picked here, that I've picked 50 grams, my main liquid will be the water plus my goat milk. Or I take the goat milk out and leave it only my liquid here as just that. So you decide whether you're using your base or liquid as water plus your whatever you've added, or you're going 100% for that as your liquid in your soap.
So if I say yes, liquid discounted, then I need to enter the exact amount of water instead. For example, I pick coconut milk.
Mhm.
Then I need to input the exact amount of coconut milk that is equivalent to the water.
Yeah, yeah.
But how do I know how much water?
You just input it in there. The result will tell us if you did it right or not. If you didn't, we come back and rectify all the numbers, because we'll see in the end that whether you produce good soap or bad soap. So now you are producing the soap on the phone, not physically, but
Yeah.
theoretically. You get it? But like all the mistakes we've done with these soap, if we had probably put it through the soap making calculator, we would not have made some of the mistakes, because it would have corrected it for us even before producing the soap to know, no, it will give us this property. So let me do it a little, yeah. Let's go to fragrance. Now, fragrance here is giving us 3% of your oil weight. That is the recommended weight. Now, this is where we get the actual fragrance from. So let's say that for us, the total weight of the soap for my recipe here is 100 grams. So 3% of 100 grams will be my oil. So if I'm calculating it, 3 over 100 times 100. So 3 grams. So 3 grams is what should go into this. If I want to produce 4 bars of this, I'm multiplying my 3 by 4, 12 grams in total fragrance oil I'm putting there. So next time, because we've done this, I want to smell some soap. Especially when we are doing
there's no fragrances selected.
If they've not added fragrance, then it means that add your fragrance. But when you are adding yours, like somebody's added as a guest, when you're adding yours, you have to add the all the names and the links and all that. But at least whatever fragrance you're going to add, you know that I'm adding 3 grams. So if I decide to use 3 different types of fragrance and split it 1, 1, 1,
Yeah.
1 gram for coconut fragrance oil, 1 gram for raspberry, 1 gram for this, you can change it, switch it around. But in the end, the total grammage per 100 gram soap is 3 grams. Making sense? Anybody getting confused? Because the last time a little
Of course, the fragrance part.
Mhm.
So how do you calculate how much fragrance the amount of soap?
don't calculate.
Oh, is there already?
It's like
Default already, isn't it?
yeah, it's telling you that whatever soap you're producing, it should be 3% of the weight of that soap. So it's not giving you grams yet. It's just telling you whatever soap you're producing, the fragrance should be 3% of the weight of the soap. So let's say the weight of my soap is 150. Let me move away from 100, because 100 gives us back 3 grams and it makes you think like it's a standard 3 gram. No. Let's go to, let's say, 200 grams of soap. So then we have to get,
267 grams.
we can do 267. Anybody has a calculator? Then it's going to be 3 over, it's going to be 3 over 100 times 267.
Perfect.
And then we work it out, and whatever comes out as the figure, that will be the grams of our fragrance. So that I don't confuse anybody. Did we get it? Can somebody work it out, Alessi? So you're finding 3% off 265, she said.
Was it 367?
So it's basically going back into the maths class and finding percentage.
8.01 you take out.
8.01 grams.
267.
Okay. So then we mean
No, 3% is 8.01.
3% is 8.01. So 8.01 will be the grams.
3% of 3,
267.
2 or 3?
267.
We are in the maths class now.
8.01.
Divide by 100.
Okay, now at the bottom, that number 9, you're leaving any notes you want to leave there. Maybe in the course of your generating your recipe, there's something you want to talk about to remind you for something you have done. You just leave it there. Okay. Now let's go to the results. So the top bar, we have settings. Now let's go to results, shift it to results, and let's see the soap we've produced.
Oh, that's brilliant. So you need X amount of liquid.
It's telling you the amount of liquid you need. It's telling you the amount of grams. It's telling you the amount of oil weight. Now, for me, my liquid is less 24.24 grams. So it means that I would have to add 24.24 grams to bring it up to the total amount of liquid I need. Does that make sense? Now, when I go back to my settings, I'm going to my liquid now. For my liquid, I put 50 grams milk there. It's telling me the 50 grams is not enough. I need to add 24.4 something grams. So it's either I'm going to pick that figure and come and add it to my 50 grams here to show it up to the total amount of liquid I need, or at the back of my mind decide that I'll leave it like this, but the showing up will be with water. So my 24 point something will be in water. But if I decide I want it all in milk, am I making sense? Let me go back to the results. Don't get confused. Now for me, at the top, my liquid required, I'm short of, because it's a negative figure. Mine says minus 24.24. So it means
Where
that
you at?
I'm short. Go to the results.
Yeah.
Your liquid is okay.
Okay.
Mine, I'm short.
I'm sorry.
I'm short. Mine,
It's a minor, right?
minus. Yours is minus.
No, I'm not minor.
Yours is what?
How many? What's your number? What's your
The
grams?
positive one.
Positive one.
Yes.
Good. So mine is in the minus. So it means that whatever I put for my liquid is not enough. So I will have to add onto it to bring it up into my positive, basically. So that is what I was talking about over there.
Yeah, but I try because I also short.
Mhm.
So I try to add some more.
Mm.
Then the number is
Positive,
increase- No, even short.
bigger.
Bigger.
What figure did you get there?
Right now is short 54. So
Mine is 20.6.
5, 6, 7,
minus 54.
74.
So I add some more
Water,
water or
oil.
oh,
Leave it 0. Leave your liquid setting 0. Coconut milk, whatever you're leaving, leave it 0. So whatever milk you're using, all of it will be 25.76 grams. Does that make sense? So go back to your settings.
Liquid required.
correct.
Don't do liquid there. Don't select any figure for liquid in your settings. Leave it 0. Come back, it will give you the required liquid in positive numbers. Does that make sense? So whatever I have here, which mine is 25.7 grams, will be the total weight of liquid I'm using. So if I'm using oil, goat's milk, all of it is 25.76. If I'm using water, all of it is 25.76.
Mine has got liquid required 20.64 grams.
Okay, so we'll leave it like everybody will be different because of different inputs we put there. So our figures are not going to be the same because we
Okay.
pick different oils and everything different. So our sodium hydroxide is, for mine, is 12.88 grams. And it says that it gives us 99% purity, which is good. Our oil weight is 100 grams. Fragrance weight is 3 grams. Superfat is 5% superfat. Total batch weight is going, we're going to have 146.64 grams. That's the total batch weight. Remember, our oils was only 100 grams, but we are adding other things to it, so it will increase the weight of our soap. So in the end, our finished product weight will be 146.64 grams. Lye concentration is 33.33. That is standard. You can't do anything about it. It's just telling you the information needed. This is what you would send for approval if you were taking this soap to be approved. All of this, you have to copy it the way it is, attach it as part of the document and other documents you'll be adding to send off. So this is where you generate your recipe and the quantities you have used. Right, so let's go to the properties now, and this is where we would know if we produced good soap or bad soap. So for properties, for mine, bubbly lather is 0. So the soap I produced on the phone, it will not bubble. But the recommended says at least it has to be between 14 and 46. So I have to go back and do some work on my oils, or increase and decrease, and so my soap will not lather. Okay. Cleansing is 0. It won't cleanse. Yeah. Conditioning, oh, very good. It will condition. So it means that it would, you know what, give you and yeah.
I don't think mine would lather because it just says just got the percentage sign and then it says recommend.
Yeah, so you have to, it means that you have to work on it so that your this figure falls within the recommended range.
Yeah.
So hardness 33, it will be a bit hard,
Hardness
but
about 42.
42, that's good, because the
Okay.
recommended is between 29 to 54. So 42 is good hardness. 33, mine says 33, not bad. Anything below 29 is very soft soap. It's not. It has to be within the recommended range. Longevity, mine says 33. Recommended is between 25 to 50. So it will last a bit long in the shower. Maybe if we use it. Like these two soaps here. This one is softer than this one. This one will last longer in the bath than this one. So if it will take 1 week for this soap to totally finish, it will take 3 days for this to finish. So that is longevity basically. Yeah. So for mine here is saying 33. The recommended range is between 25 to 50. So you see how good the soap making calculator is. It gives you a foresight or an idea of the soap you produce even before you do it. So if you don't like the figures you are seeing, you go back and do more work on it. My iodine here says is 86, and the recommended is between 41 and 70. And I'm not surprised I'm getting 86 because my soap doesn't lather, it doesn't cleanse. When your iodine when your iodine levels are high, it means your soap is greasy and soft. So if I'm getting the soap that does not lather, does not cleanse, it's obviously very soft soap. So obviously my iodine levels are high in the soap. So the recommended is saying 41.70. I've gone too high.
Mine is 57 and recommended 41 and 70.
So not bad. Do you have, does it lather?
It says creamy lather 44.
Oh, good. Good. So it will do some good job
What's
there.
the meaning of a creamy leather?
Creamy lather, it's a lathers, like you get bubbles, creamy type
Texture.
lather. Yeah. So the INS is your iodine plus saponification. Those two, mine is within range, so that is good. That when they are high, too high, it still gives you soft soap. When they are too low, it gives you very hard soap. So both of them, it tells you the hardness and the softness. My INS is good, but my iodine is bad. So I have to go back and sort it out. Okay, so should we go back? Is everybody happy with what soap they've produced?
Yeah.
Joanne, you didn't do anything there. Oh, she said yes. What soap?
I'm gonna have to do a YouTube video. I don't like this soap making friend. I've actually joined this one, right? And I'm like, I don't, soap calc.
You don't like soap calc?
No, I do like soap calc. Looks easier. This one just like, yeah.
But this is soap calc. This
It's
soap
This
friend
soap friend.
It's another.
is another.
calculator.
Okay.
So you do use it. Something.
Well, I've looked at it a bit. I thought maybe I could manage this one. I also need to watch these YouTube videos.
Okay. 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 But did everybody get it? Or should we go back? And for the sake of Fola, let's go back. And whilst you are doing it, everybody can amend your soaps again. And when we go to the result,
I've lost
see.
my results.
You do have you?
Yeah, I tried to save it, but it told me to log in. So
Yeah. Then that's when you pay for it. So
logged
take
in,
screenshot.
A
it's
screenshot.
disappeared.
Yeah.
Just
Unless
take
you want to
screenshot.
pay for the app.
Which type of oil?
But mine says I can save. Oh. Password.
Yeah, because I think you pay for yours.
No.
Oh, you don't?
No. I'm not doing it as a business. I will not invest in it. But I think I'm able to save. I just have to put my username.
Because you register.
Yeah.
Registering doesn't mean
You
that
pay
you
it.
can't use the app.
Yeah.
It just means that you're limited.
Yeah.
I think you can still save it.
You can still save
Yeah,
it.
but you need to register.
Because it says my results.
Oh, that's all right.
That's all right.
Quickly, no.
No, I think
You are you are in my eye.
I think that
you're in
chair
my
is
life.
broken.
She doesn't want to be on. Okay. All right, let's go back, Fola, just so that we'll be able to catch up with you.
and there's two of us.
It's two of you now. Okay. So let's go back on the soap calculator now.
We're starting all over.
Yeah, we are starting all over.
Okay. So I'm going to share butter and cocoa
Which
butter.
type of oil
Baby,
can
no,
increase the
go to
cleansing?
mama's stuff now.
Cleansing is coconut oil, shea butter, cocoa butter. Most of the butters are good for cleansing.
Oh,
I want somebody to just do only butters in their recipe. Yeah. I don't know how to do it. Maybe next time I'll sit there where nobody would go behind me. Yeah. I think somebody had Farah. Oh, hi, Farah. I think she's gone. She was sending messages here. You remember Farah? You remember Farah?
I think so.
Yeah, both of you remember Farah. Because she used to volunteer. Remember that lady who used to
Oh,
volunteer?
yes.
She was here, but I think she said hi and I didn't see her.
My longevity is only on the one I did. It says 38, so it won't last long.
It will still have some hardness, but Farah, if that's you, hi to you. I was so engrossed in what I was saying, so I didn't see. The other ladies are all here. Rena and Rochelle and Joanna. They are here, so hi, if that's you. All right, so let's go over quickly with the soap making calculator. It's taking all the time, you see.
Yes, we won't
Soap
be able
making
to-
calculator, we can't do anything
No.
today. So we'll go over the soap
and a lot
making
of them
calculator.
didn't work with the containers.
Yeah, it's there.
Did you get to save it?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Please, let's get to understand the soap making calculator as we'll be using it more. Today, the two of you, I'll have to split you up.
Yeah.
Everybody would have to formulate their own soap recipe. Please don't use the recipe I gave you at the beginning of the class because I've seen that we've relied on it throughout the session. So I'll expect that everybody comes to class next week. It's next week that we are doing the
The assessment.
assessment.
Is
Oh,
it?
is it next week?
It's, yeah. That was what I was. No, the week after or next week?
I think it should be next week. I think
It's next week. I'd said last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've done the assessment already, so you don't have to do it again if you don't want to. Is it soon? You think it's soon? Do you want us to do it the week after?
I think
So guess we
yeah,
do bath salts next week and the
we're
bath
still
bombs.
experimenting.
You're still experimenting.
I want to do them.
All right. So what we'll do is let's do
I've already done the assessment.
Yeah, we've done our assessment.
Yes.
just the two of you though, but Rina will have to do it again if she wants the NOCN. But both of you you've already done it, so you don't have to do it again unless
So
you
we
want
do
to do it.
bath
I'm
salts.
missing next week.
You're
No,
missing
we'll
next
be
week.
here
But we'll
Oh,
not
no,
do
We won't be in day for the NRM.
we'll do it the week after. You'll be here.
And that's for the bath salts and the bath bombs.
The bath salt and the bath bombs, we'll put it for next week. So then the week
No, the week after.
then the week after we do the soap because
So what we're gonna do next week then? Shoot, so she can get in for us.
she can get in for it.
Bath bombs.
You want to do the bath bombs?
Yeah, and I'm not going to be here next week, so please don't do it next week. 'cause
Don't
I'm
worry, let me go back to this because from what I'm thinking, if we are doing the recipes today, then I think that we should all come back with a recipe of your own next week. Possibly whatever you want to put in there. You work on your own before
The
the
assessment.
assessment.
Okay.
So next week will be like a mock
Okay. Then.
with your
work
recipes,
with that,
just so that
yeah.
everybody in this class, because I think this class has been really good. It will not be right for anybody not to go through to NOCN because they didn't get it. So I'll say that let's use today as a way to generate our own recipes from the soap making calculator. I'll just ensure that nobody's using my figures and my numbers. That we try on your own if you can at home.
But everything has to be 100 grams.
No, 100 grams, then you know you're producing this kind of soap. But it cannot be 100 grams because you're producing 4 different designs of soap. You have to produce an embed, you have to produce a layered soap, a swell,
Oh, we haven't
and
done
then
that yet.
Yeah.
okay, we do.
That's what you were
That
going
is
to
what
do
we were going to do next week. All right. So we haven't done it. Next week I would come with my own soap. I would come. I think next week I have to do my own soap. Do all the different designs as an experiment. You go off and do yours on your own next week. Does that make sense? So next week I will do soap myself from demonstrate from beginning to end, showing the different designs, how to do it. And then I'll leave you to do work on your own, going through the same process, different designs, how to achieve embeds, layered effect, swells, and then the last one is just herbs. So 4 things, herbs. You're mixing with herbs. Embeds. Herbs is rose buds, calendula. The other one is lavender. Any kind of herb you have at home, it just has to be dried. So air dry. If you have something in your garden, like somebody came with something, I don't know, rosemary, lavender. Somebody came the previous week. Somebody came with something I can't remember, but they came with different things, star anise, a lot of things. So whatever you are using, just air dry it. Orange peel. Yeah, yeah,
Put an orange peel on,
yeah.
lemon slice or a bit of strawberry or something, or herbs or
But for the lavender, we just
You're doing herbs. One soap must be herbs, mixed with herbs. The other one must be an embed where you're cutting different soaps or pieces of soaps that we have in here and mix it up in your batch. It's been, some of the soaps have been chopped already, like the different.
Those little leaves, those little strawberry soap leaves that I've done over there. It's over there. Yeah, it's over there behind you. It's like little thin leaves, probably for chocolate. So they'd be like embeds, wouldn't they? They'd be like the little sweet leaves, whatever, different colour scents.
Yeah, yeah.
Where do we get those bits from?
I've got the bits here.
Oh.
You have got other soap residues in the cupboards that you can cut if you don't want the ones that are here. As for the embeds, you get them here, so don't worry about those. The herbs, I've also got some here. My herbs have been staying here for over 7 years. So if you don't like, if my herbs are not too fresh, please, you're welcome to bring your own. And
What was the other? Swells.
swells. Swells is different colors you're mixing together. Hello. Yeah.
Is it the craft
Yeah.
skill hands?
Skilled hands, yeah.
Because I've looked for the fair.
How do you?
Yeah, but
What's your name?
Priyanti Vincent.
You didn't book, did you book for it?
I phoned you the number,
because Skin had sent me an email
Yeah.
for the craft fair, and there was a number. And
Yeah.
I put the number, they said,
Do you want a stall or you're just coming to the fair?
I make bags and things, so
Because I'm not sure you're on the list of the stalls. So if you send me an email again, I will send you the payment link for a stall. The stall is going for £25. So then when you pay for the stall, it will come on, because we have a list of people who have paid and I don't see you on there. So if I send you the link and you do the payment, it will come on the list, then you'll be in there. And then we can send you all the information you need to know beforehand. Hmm.
and what's the link?
The payment.
Make the payment.
Are you sure?
I didn't make any payment until there was a payment. I don't have my phone now, but
Did he give you a receipt?
yeah, there was like payment successful.
Payment successful.
Yeah,
For when did you do it? Today?
no, not time ago. And I'm in the WhatsApp group right now.
You are in the WhatsApp group. Can I check? Are you still in the building? Is it the same prayer you used or a different name? Because there's
What's his name? My full name is Angie Vincent.
Think-
But you can call me Tia.
the name of the lady in the group is different from what I have. Because I'm using the phone now on live. If you're still in the room, can I catch you after the class? And then we'll see if yeah, I'll come and find you and then I'll cross check with you if it's the same person.
Sorry to bother.
That's all right. That's all right. You're welcome. I think I'm going to have to end this live now. It's over 1 hour.